Hey there, everybody, and welcome to this presentation on coping with coronavirus anxiety. I am here to take your questions. While I'm waiting for people to join in the chat room, what I'm going to do is just go over some stuff that I've already gone over before, but if you haven't heard it or if you need a reminder, then you're going to get it. One of the things that we know is with anxiety revs up that HPA axis, or your threat response system. When that happens, it reduces your immunity. It causes you a lot of energy, it causes you a lot of tension. It can increase irritability. Anxiety is just not a good thing to hold on to. Remember, anxiety is part of the fight or flight reaction. Anxiety is your body's way of saying, you know what, there could be a problem. You might need to do something. It's not meant to sit there, and it's not meant to be something that you hold on to and you nurture. It's telling you to do something. It's telling you to take precautions. It's telling you to find out what you need to do. And then it's telling you to, guess what? Move on. It's important for us to recognize our anxiety, validate our anxiety, because there's a lot of uncertainties, and this is a very stressful time for a lot of people. It's what we do with that anxiety that can either help us or harm us. So we're going to talk about ways to deal with that anxiety, to use that energy in ways that can help us. The first thing, get the facts. If you are in one of the high-risk populations, okay, get the facts. Most of us, or a lot of people, are in a very low-risk population. And it's important to understand when we start hearing all that data about mortality and yada, 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 there are the majority of people who are getting this and getting very, very ill either have significant underlying conditions and or they are much, much older. They are our older adults. So the danger to people who are, middle-aged or younger is relatively minor. Now, does that mean that we should just throw caution to the wind and go back to doing everything that we were doing before? No. We still need to be safe because we can transmit the virus. We don't want this virus to continue. We want it to peter out and sort of, feed on itself. And when it doesn't have any more hosts, then it'll kind of peter out. We're hoping. We don't know that for sure, but it's important to get the facts about what's going on and what you can do to protect yourself and use your energy to do those things instead of dwelling. Don't spend a lot of time reading the news, reading the same stories over and over again, trying to find answers that aren't there. That's just going to increase your frustration, and it's not a good use of your energy. Is that helping you be happier and healthier and all those wonderful things? Probably not. Get the facts. Go to the CDC website, go to the WHO website, go to a website that you can trust their data. Get the facts about what you can do and know what's going on in your community, whether there are restrictions on movement or anything like that. And then guess what? Start doing something else. Use your energy to do something else. Going along with those facts, don't confuse possibility with probability. There is a possibility you could get the virus. Yes, that's true. How probable is it? And how probable is it that if you get it, it's going to be a serious issue? You're the only one who can answer that because you know your health, you know your age, and you know your underlying conditions, if any. But the probability that they're seeing is a lot of people who get this have very mild symptoms. People are having intrusive thoughts right now. They are thinking, you know what, this is really, really scary. They are thinking that if I go out, I'm not safe. They are thinking for some reason that they're going to run out of toilet paper. I don't know. Nobody really understands where the toilet paper thing is coming from. Think logically. How much toilet paper do you really go through in a period of time? I saw some memes on Facebook today, and I am so happy that my Facebook crew is starting to just post funnies and post things that are not about, death and destruction and doom and all this stuff. They are finding humor in this. And there are a lot of memes on at least on my Facebook feed right now about, those orphan socks that you have becoming toilet paper. And you kind of look at it and you go, ew, and you may laugh. But remember, there are, thousands, maybe millions, I don't know, of babies every year that grow up wearing cloth diapers. That's not that much different. Am I saying we're going to get to the point where we need to use our socks for underwear or use our socks for toilet paper? Gosh, no. I personally don't think it's going to get there. But it gave me a chuckle when I saw it. There are a lot of things that are happening and a lot of things that you can find online that will make you happy. Some people are experiencing intrusive thoughts right now. Just periodically you're going around, maybe somebody sneezes or you turn on the news or, whatever is causing it. It may not be triggered by anything in particular except for just waking up or noticing that your schedule is different right now. And then you may start having these intrusive thoughts about, oh my gosh, I am in danger. Oh my gosh, this is a bad thing. Oh my gosh, whatever. Lots of oh my goshes. And those are intrusive thoughts. And recognize those thoughts, hear those thoughts if they come in, but then turn your attention back to the positive. It's going to be important to help your brain realize that the level of danger or not that you're actually in, not the doom and gloom, not the sky is falling chicken little. For you, in your situation with what you're doing, you're probably pretty daggone safe. And it's important for your brain to start realizing that. So when you have these intrusive thoughts, counter them with facts. When you have these intrusive thoughts, tell your brain, you know what? I'm not thinking about that. That is a remote possibility. That's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. When you start having intrusive thoughts about danger, it's important to turn your mind and focus on something else. Our brain has been programmed to encourage us to focus on the negative. Why? Because if we don't notice a threat in the environment, that could really be bad news for us. So we have something called emotional valence. And that means our brain actually gives additional weight to negative things and to threats in our environment as opposed to positive things. And that really sucks. One of the things we need to remember is there's generally, roughly, a lot of studies have shown about a 5-to-1 ratio. For every negative thing that you see, every distressful threat that you see, you need to identify 5 positive things. So if you see something that stresses you out, go online or go around your house, find a book, find some pictures, whatever you're going to find 5 things that make you happy. Balance that out with noticing 5 things that are going well in your life right now. Think about other uses for your energy instead of worrying, which is basically like spinning your tires in the mud and just staying stuck and getting further and further stuck. You have this energy right now. What can you do with that energy instead of sitting around and feeding that anxiety? You can go on a walk. You don't have to get near people when you're out on a walk. You can do yard work. You can plant a garden. You can read a book. You can learn a new skill. I recently, has nothing to do with this particular situation, but I recently started learning about hydroponics, and I grow kale, collards, and spinach in my basement now. There are tons of videos on hydroponics that you can watch on YouTube and learn something. Use this time or use that energy productively. If you're still able to work, maybe you're able to work from home. Maybe you always worked from home. That's great. Keep as much of your normal schedule as possible. Try to keep your routine. That is going to be so important to keeping your circadian rhythms in balance, so your body knows when to secrete cortisol and when to secrete melatonin, when you're supposed to be awake, when you're supposed to be asleep. All of those things will help you feel better. It will help improve your mood. And we really want to help you moderate those cortisol levels. Another thing, they find that low intensity exercise, and I know some of you don't like that E word, but low intensity exercise at 40 to 50% of your max heart rate, which is, a moderate walk, a brisk walk even, actually reduces your cortisol levels. Recognizing that is going to be important. What can you do that can help you reduce your cortisol levels? Laughter, especially belly laughs, will help you reduce your cortisol levels. What else can you do that can help reduce your stress hormones and increase your happy hormones? Kind of like drawing a hot bath. When you are increasing your happy chemicals, your stress chemicals by nature go down a little bit, or at least are balanced out. And that's what we're really wanting to do right now in order to stay healthy. If you are in mandatory or self-imposed quarantine, you may be, surrounded by family 24/7, which in short term sounds like a blessing. In the long term, may get a little bit stressful. I remember going through periods where we were on lockdown after a particular snowstorm here. We were stuck in our neighborhood for upwards of 10 days. And people started going a little bit stir crazy. Figure out what you can do. If you are spending a lot of time with people, after hurricanes in Florida, sometimes the power would be out and we would all be sheltering in place. And, you'll love your family members, but during a time like this, when stress is already high, it can be a lot more difficult to have patience and to be happy. Make a focused effort to do things to make you happy and to do things to keep everybody else happy. Kids are going to be following your lead. Even if you're not saying, this is really scary, this is really stressful, if you are thinking that and you are feeling that and you are focused on that, they are going to pick up on it. Your nonverbals are going to be exuding stress. We know that when children pick up on stress, they tend to act out more. They tend to be a little bit more disorganized. They are sensing danger from you. So they're wanting you to prove to them, basically, that they are safe. So they may act out and really need those limits set. The best way to deal with that is to prevent it from occurring, which means you need to believe that you're safe. You need to believe that this too shall pass. You need to believe that there are things that you can do to protect yourself and your family, and you need to do those things. So you can say, you know what? These things happen. It's just like we recently had a tornado in Middle Tennessee, and that was terrifying. However, there are going to be more tornadoes, and I know that worrying about it is going to do me no good. I know what I need to do if there is a severe thunderstorm to protect myself and my family, and that's all I can do. Sitting at home or sitting in the office or wherever, dwelling on it, and thinking about all the remote possibilities is just going to take years off my life. It's going to make me unhappy. It's going to give me a stomach ache. There's all kinds of things that it's going to do that are not positive. Figure out what you can do what you can do, and then use your energy to have a rich and meaningful life. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to mention is to remind you to get good quality sleep. If you're not having to go to work right now, if you're not having to go to school right now, that's fine. It's probably not going to last for long. You're probably going to be going back in 2 weeks or so. It's important to keep your circadian rhythms set. Keep your routine as much as possible. Now's not the time to be binging on, television until 2 o'clock in the morning. Good, healthy sleep, quality sleep will help you feel better. It'll give you more energy, and it will reduce your stress hormones, which will improve your immunity. So, Wind. Stay hydrated. That means water, you know, alcohol, caffeine, sugary drinks, those work against your hydration levels. Stay hydrated with water, water with lemon, water with lime, however you want to get your water. That will help you with concentration, with focus, with energy, and it will help your body because just about every reaction in the body, every chemical reaction that happens requires fluid. It happens in a fluid state. So you need water. And nutrition, good nutrition. There are a lot of people who are looking towards comfort eating right now, and I get it. You know, there is definitely the tendency when you're home to go, oh, there's some ice cream in the fridge or whatever. And occasional treats are fine, but it's important to give your body the building blocks it needs to keep you happy and healthy, which means even during this time, you need to have vegetables, you need to have fruits, you need to have a relatively colorful diet every day in order to keep your immune system up, keep your mood up, and keep your energy up. Okay, are there any questions? I'll hang out if anybody has any questions for a little while. Okay, it looks like there's no questions, so I am going to go ahead and end this video. If you would like to see more videos where, I'm here to answer questions about how to deal with stress or anxiety, especially related to the current situation, please let me know, and I would be happy to do more live streams like this.